We'll get back to you if we're interested. This is one of those common objections in sales. Today, I'll walk you through practical steps to handle this objection effectively at any stage of the sales process, whether it's the very beginning, the middle, or the very end. And besides the very end of this video, you'll learn how to stand out, maintain authority, and move the conversation forward. So the first phase are early stage objections. Have you ever been brushed off with, "I'll call you later," just seconds into a conversation? Here's how to flip the script. Now first, understand the context. Early objections often stem from a prospect's knee-jerk reaction to an unexpected cold call. It's not about you, it's about their fight or flight response. I'm sure you probably done the same thing when someone cold calls you. So think about it this way, they're not rejecting you, they're just reacting to the situation. So here's how to pivot. You want to avoid the desperation trap, which is you never want to agree to a vague callback. This lowers your status and positions you as just another salesperson. Instead, show confidence. You want to take control of the narrative instead, and you take control of the schedule. So you want to respond with authority and say something like this: "Hey, possibly, I just need to check my availability. If you have your calendar handy, we can find a specific time so we're not chasing each other." So notice here how this positions you as a professional guiding the conversation. And you want to book a short-term follow-up. So you want to schedule that meeting for the same or next day. You want to avoid setting it too far in advance as they're less likely to follow through. Now that you set a clear next step, the conversation is now on your terms. The reason this works is this response subtly positions you as a busy, in-demand professional, which elevates your status in the prospect's eyes, whether it's consciously or subconsciously. Now, the next phase is the mid-call status frame. So do you want to be seen as the authority rather than just another salesperson? Here's the secret. You need to establish a status frame. That means starting a call on equal footing with the prospect. Throughout the conversation, shift the dynamic so they are viewing you as a trusted expert. This shift in perception is subtle but really powerful. What's really key is detachment. You want to show that you're not overly invested in the outcome. This makes the process feel like they're pursuing you and not the other way around. Here's how you let your confidence do the heavy lifting. And you want to utilize strategic phrasing. You want to use language that subtly reinforces your strategy. For instance, "Hey, let's find a time that works for both of us so where you're not left chasing me." Notice how this language positions you as an equal and not a subordinate. Notice even how I had a little bit of laughter at the very end to make fun as well, given the scenario. Now you do want to read their signals, okay? So prospects often use objections like, "Hey, we'll think about it," just to stall out. You want to learn to identify the real concern hiding behind their words. And by reading between the lines, you can address the real issue. Now here's how this works. Confidence and subtle detachment communicates that your time is valuable, making your offer far more desirable. Nobody likes smelling that commission breath. Next phase are late stage objections. At the end of the call, when they say, "Let us think about it," do you lose hope? Here's how you can regain control. So first, you want to disarm their defenses. You want to acknowledge their hesitation with a relaxed and understanding tone. That sounds something like this: "Hey, that's not a problem. What's your time frame for following up? Later today or tomorrow?" Now this puts you back in the driver's seat while respecting their concerns. And then you want to set the stage for transparency. Oftentimes prospects will hide their real concerns. So you want to encourage honesty with non-threatening questions in a very casual, laid-back manner. So for instance, "Hey, before I go, what were you planning to review in your mind so I can address any questions during our next call?" Now you're starting to uncover the truth. Also notice how my tonality is very soft and easy, because I need to put them in a zone where they feel very comfortable to hopefully share with me what's really on their mind, because ultimately then I can uncover the real objection. Like usually to think it over, it's rarely genuine. You want to use questions to pinpoint the true concern, whether it's budget, timing, or clarity. And this clarity allows you to tackle the real issue head on. And once you're able to uncover the real objection, then you're able to collaborate on solutions together. Because once they share their hesitation, you want to respond as a partner together, not a seller. You want to work together to address the issue and find a path forward. By positioning yourself as an ally, you're making the buying decision easier for them. And the reason this works really well is this approach lowers their guard, invites open dialogue, making it easier to resolve their actual objections. Now you might be asking me, "Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, but what about more complex deals when there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 different decision makers as part of the process?" Here, we'll discuss how to turn that, we'll discuss internally, into an actual meaningful next step. First, you could just simply propose a collaborative demo or next meeting. If they're not ready to commit, suggest a practical next step. And they may sound something like this. Hey, the next step, if it makes sense, is to schedule a quick demo with your team to explore how the solution addresses your needs. This makes the next step feel very natural and low pressure. And obviously, depending on where you are on the sales cycle, once you sell, you can switch out the demo from maybe a deeper dive meetings to meeting with other stakeholders to even potentially a proof of concept or trial, depending on where you are in the sales process. Now, here's a little subtle tip. When you're doing this, you can also lean in physically and verbally. Like whether this is in person or Zoom, when you lean slightly forward and ask critical questions, this reinforces sincerity and engagement. Your body language speaks volumes about your confidence. Now, you can also utilize what's known as off-the-record questions, which frames a query as casual yet confidential. For instance, let's just say they're a little bit resistant to maybe the next step. You can say something like, hey, just between us, off the record, what's really holding you back from exploring this further? Notice some of the intentional pausing, the tonality I'm doing here. Now, with the term even off the record, you do want to be really careful with this, because if you use the term off the record like 10 times in your conversation, it's going to come off very disingenuous, and you don't want that. So one time really at best is when you want to do this on a sales call. If you notice that even that phrasing I shared this with you a second ago, it encourages honesty without feeling confrontational. And then of course, then you can also then reiterate their goals as well as they share what's on their mind. And you can tie their objection back to their stated objectives, which helps you create a compelling reason to continue the conversation forward. By helping them connect the dots together, you're making them easier to say yes, especially when they realize the cost of inaction is very high, so they must take some sort of next step action with you. Now, the reason these work is because these strategies create urgency and focus while maintaining a really collaborative tone. You're not trying to be pushy, you're not trying to be aggressive. Your end goal is to help them solve problems, so you're showing up as a trusted advisor, but you're doing it in a way where they feel safe and comfortable to be able to agree to what you want them to do, so you can move the deal forward. Now, the next phase is closing with confidence. Here's how to actually seal the deal. You want to reaffirm the next steps. After addressing concern and confirm the commitment by scheduling a follow-up meeting or a demo or proof of concept, this by itself reinforces their decision to continue the conversation. And then you want to end with authority. You want to conclude the conversation with confidence and a clear plan that you state directly to them. So for instance, that sounds something like this. Hey, great, we'll connect at insert order scheduled times. We'll connect at Friday at 8 a.m. with stakeholder 1, 2, and 3. This will give us a chance to do a deeper dive and finalize the best solution for your team. So by doing this, you're now solidifying your role as a trusted guide. In some situations, you'll need to follow up strategically, because for instance, if they miss the next call, you do want to reach out after a few minutes, not immediately, because you do want to maintain your authoritative stance. What's key to remember here is a measured response keeps the momentum going without appearing desperate. Now, the reason these strategies work so well is because ending decisively with a really clear next step positions you as a leader and keeps the process moving forward without desperation. Now, if you master all these steps, you'll transform objections from roadblocks into opportunities. Your process will see you not just as a salesperson, but as a trusted advisor, and that makes all the difference. Now, if you want our help to help you close more deals, head below and book a call with my team to see if it's a good fit for our coaching program. And if you want to see scientifically proven steps to build rapport with any prospect, I'll see you in the next video right here.